ABC 10 News at 7 starts now.
Los Angeles has become the first county in Southern California to hit the least restrictive yellow COVID tier. San Diego County is still in the orange, and it does not appear will be moving up anytime soon. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Los Angeles was doing a lot worse than San Diego not that long ago. But as ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl goes in depth to explain how LA managed to reach the finish line quicker.
At one point in January, LA County hospitals were overrun with COVID. They had twice as many cases and deaths as any place in the country. But starting Thursday, LA County gyms, movie theaters, amusement parks, and museums can all boost capacity. Dodger Stadium will be allowed to host more than 37,000 fans per game, but Petco Park will stay capped at about 14,000.
There are some other counties, LA and other counties, that are descending a little bit lower case count. And we don't know exactly all the reasons why there's fluctuations or variations in counties.
Supervisor Nathan Fletcher points out San Diego is outperforming LA in some metrics. A larger share of San Diego residents are fully vaccinated. But in the three measurements that matter for reopenings, LA is doing significantly better on case rate, test positivity rate, and the positivity rate in underserved areas, known as the health equity metric.
We look at policies and numbers, and the one thing that is really hard to quantify is what about the behavior of the people on the ground?
Dr. Christian Ramers of Family Health Centers of San Diego has two theories about what's going on.
We see this all the time in medicine. People don't tend to take a threat very seriously unless it really hits close to home. And I think Los Angeles, through the winter surge, was hit incredibly hard. And more people proportionally had a friend or relative or knew somebody who was in the hospital or who died of COVID.
The other theory has to do with the way the state does the math. The state built a point system to encourage counties to do more tests, and LA is doing a lot more tests per person than San Diego.
So even if the case rates are equal, if you're doing a whole lot of testing way above average, you get extra points.
As a state, California had the lowest per capita case rate in the country last week and has vaccinated the most people. Governor Newsom says we're on track to retire the tier system and reopen the economy June 15th. But other states are now moving faster. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut plan to lift most business restrictions and capacity limits on May 19th. Political considerations aside, Dr. Ramers points out those states are beating California in at least one metric.
The vaccination rates completely change this whole calculation. Vaccination has such an incredibly profound effect at protecting the population.
When you adjust for population, the East Coast states have vaccinated a larger share of their residents. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
Now, the county reported another 186 cases today, while our test positivity rate held at 3%. Our local COVID death toll went up by 1 to just over 3,700.
Right now, the Board of Supervisors is considering extending the moratorium on evictions in San Diego County. The state moratorium is scheduled to end in June. But Supervisor Nora Vargas is proposing extending that further here. Her plan would also make it harder to evict someone for reasons other than being unable to afford rent. Supervisors are hearing public comment on this item right now, and we'll let you know what happens on ABC 10 News at 11 o'clock tonight. You can stay on top of any new developments with coronavirus by downloading the 10 News app. A free version is available in the App Store.
A 19-year-old has been arrested for the crash that killed a father and son in Poway. In February, Steve and Stephen Paroli were killed outside Poway High School when their car was T-boned on Espola Road. After months of investigations, deputies have determined the driver who hit them, 19-year-old Donald Farmer, was driving recklessly under the influence of drugs. He was booked today on charges including gross vehicular manslaughter. Police are also investigating the death of a woman whose body was found in a trash can in Little Italy. Someone reported finding the body this morning on State Street near Hawthorne. Police say the woman, who appears to be homeless, is white, in her 20s or 30s. She was wearing a black sweater and black jeans. Anyone with information is asked to call San Diego Police or Crime Stoppers.
Right now, family and friends are looking for answers from the Chula Vista Police Department in the search for missing mother Maya Miliete. ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is at a rally where loved ones say they're not being kept in the loop.
This Friday will mark 4 months since family or friends have seen or heard from Maya Miliete. They say right now they're left in the dark when it comes to this investigation, and now they're demanding answers.
Today we're hoping we can urge Chula Vista Police Department to expedite my sister's case, to solve her case, to get some closing, to get some answers for my family and for her 3 children. We want to tell her 3 children where mommy is. They've been waiting for 4 months. It's way too long.
Maya Miliete's sister, Mary Chris Drule, says family members, friends, and even strangers have been searching for Maya since she disappeared in January. Mary Chris tells us she wants to sit down with Chula Vista Police to go over where the investigation stands, to get some guidance and come up with a better plan on where to possibly search. She says there's no direct line of communication with police, and 4 months is too long without any answers. But Chula Vista PD says they are working with multiple agencies on this case, including the DA's office, the FBI, and NCIS, all with the goal of bringing Maya home or holding anyone who may have harmed her accountable. Police say they've written about 32 search warrants for homes, cell phones, and other electronic devices. They've also interviewed about 56 people, including family, friends, neighbors, and witnesses, and investigated dozens of tips, but will not share any information publicly that could possibly jeopardize the investigation and potential prosecution of anyone involved in Maya's disappearance. Volunteers from across the county have joined in to help with the search, and they too are demanding some answers.
I do think it's moving way too slow. Maybe they have the reasons, but in my opinion, it seems like with technology, with everything that's out there these days, it sure seems like there could be a way to speed this up and figure out what's going on.
Reporting in Chula Vista, Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
Governor Gavin Newsom appears to be in decent shape at the moment as far as a recall is concerned. In a statewide Survey USA poll, 47% of California voters say they would vote for Newsom to remain in office, while 36% would vote to recall him and 17% are not sure. Today, Newsom vowed to earn back people's trust.
This was a challenging year for the world, not just this country and our state. And in that process, I understand why people expressed themselves as the way they did. So my job is to earn that trust back.
Should Newsom be recalled, the poll found John Cox leading the pack of Republicans with 9% support. Caitlyn Jenner is second at 5%. Former San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer is tied with 4 other candidates at 3%. So far, no Democrats have announced plans to run, and there is no date set yet for an election.
This weekend's cyber attack is still causing major disruptions for Scripps Health. The healthcare provider isn't saying if it's a case of ransomware, but patients tell ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco their life-saving treatments are being compromised.
A diagnosis of breast cancer can be terrifying.
I'm a young mom of 2, and my hope is that I live as long as possible.
The 39-year-old mom doesn't want to make her illness public, so we are not revealing her identity.
Every day that I miss my radiation sessions, that increases my reoccurrence of the cancer coming back.
The Scripps Health network was hit with a cyber attack Saturday night. Since then, many appointments and procedures have been canceled. Access to the patient portal is still down, with no indication about when things might be back online. She says her radiation was canceled Monday and Tuesday, and the rest of the week is unclear.
It's very scary to me. To be honest, there hasn't been any communication back to me about how they're doing this.
When ABC 10 News pressed Scripps for more information, a spokesman referred us back to Monday's statement. It says in part, its hospitals, ERs, urgent cares, and Health Express locations are open for care, but some appointments may need to be rescheduled. There's also no information about whether patient information has been breached.
I would hate for someone to get a hold of any credit card numbers or my social security number.
We spoke with a Scripps surgeon who wants to remain anonymous. He says the healthcare providers are also frustrated with a lack of information. He says they can't access labs, x-rays, medication, or patient notes. Some doctors keep backup records on paper, but he says many do not. For the mom battling cancer, it all seems unbelievable.
It just seems like a joke, like your healthcare got hacked and you can't go get treatment.
On its Facebook page, Scripps says it's working with the top global experts in the field of cybersecurity, as well as the local and federal government, and that systems will be restored restored as soon as it is safe. Rachel Bianco, ABC 10 News.
Scripps says it is trying to notify people who have appointments that have been canceled, but patients with questions, they can call 1-800-SCRIPPS.